Imaging finding a rare coin so rare it could pay off your house today, we're diving into 10 of the most valuable US coins ever found. Real coins worth hundreds and even millions of dollars or more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next rare find. Let's start this.
Imagine holding a simple copper penny between your fingers, a coin so ordinary that millions of people toss it into jars every single day, yet hidden among these everyday coins could be a rare 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark error that collectors have been willing to pay astonishing amounts of money for. Yes, a single cent that once bought nothing more than a piece of candy could now represent an opportunity worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The shocking truth is that most people overlook these treasures because they believe valuable coins must look old, ancient, or foreign. But the 1980 Lincoln penny sits quietly in drawers, piggy banks, and forgotten wallets across America, waiting for the one person observant enough to recognize its hidden potential. Ask yourself this question: when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies you receive in change, instead of instantly dismissing them as worthless? That tiny moment of curiosity could be the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Now picture the emotional shift from doubt to excitement as you realize that coin collecting is not just a hobby for historians or millionaires, it is a modern treasure hunt accessible to anyone with awareness and patience. The 1980 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is fascinating because mint marks usually indicate where a coin was produced, and certain error variations or rare conditions can dramatically increase demand among collectors. While the majority of these pennies are common, the rare error versions in exceptional condition have sparked intense bidding wars at auctions, with stories circulating of coins selling for staggering sums. This is where excitement blends with urgency. Opportunities do not knock twice in the world of rare coins. The market rewards those who act early, verify authenticity, and understand rarity. Imagine discovering that a coin you nearly spent on parking could instead fund a luxury vacation or secure a financial cushion. It sounds unbelievable, and that disbelief is exactly why so many people miss their chance. Here is a humorous reality check: people will research the best coffee maker for 3 weeks but won't spend 3 minutes examining a coin that could be worth thousands. Ironically, the treasure often hides in plain sight. As we move toward the final act of this journey, authority and inspiration come together with a powerful reminder: knowledge transforms ordinary individuals into strategic collectors. The individuals who profit from rare coins are not lucky, they are informed, observant, and decisive. They understand grading, condition, and verification, and they treat each coin like a potential asset rather than spare change. The fear of missing out becomes motivation, the excitement becomes momentum, and urgency becomes action. Think about the lifestyle you envision: financial freedom, security, and the confidence that comes from recognizing value where others see none. The demand for rare and error coins continues to grow because collectors crave scarcity, history, and authenticity. Your role is not to gamble but to educate yourself, examine your coins carefully, and connect with reputable grading services and marketplaces. The penny you ignore today could be the story you regret tomorrow. The power lies in your awareness, your willingness to look closer, and your decision to act with confidence. Imagine this: you are cleaning out an old drawer, a dusty coin jar, or a forgotten box in the attic, and between ordinary pennies sits a small copper coin that looks no different than the rest, yet that single penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But history has proven again and again that rare Lincoln pennies have changed ordinary lives overnight. Today, we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark error, a coin that collectors have chased with intensity, and one that has reached astonishing market values, figures whispered in auctions that climbed toward $858,000. Yes, a penny, worth more than a luxury mansion. Now pause for a second and ask yourself: when was the last time you really looked at the pennies in your pocket? In the world of coin collecting, value is not created by metal alone, it is forged by rarity, condition, and error. The 1968 Lincoln penny without a visible mint mark may appear ordinary to the untrained eye, but within the silent language of collectors, it speaks volumes. During the late 1960s, minting transitions, production pressures, and subtle die variations created small anomalies that today ignite bidding wars among serious numismatists. This is where excitement meets opportunity. Many people dismiss pennies as insignificant, but seasoned collectors know better. They understand that sometimes the smallest coin carries the loudest financial echo. Think about it: how many millions of pennies were ignored, spent, or lost, and how few remain in pristine condition. Scarcity turns metal into treasure. And treasure, when discovered at the right moment, becomes life-changing. Now let's talk emotion, because this is where reality hits. There are two powerful forces at play: fear and excitement. The fear is simple and real. What if you unknowingly spent or gave away a rare coin worth a fortune? What if the penny you used for a vending machine snack could have funded a dream vacation or paid off a mortgage? It's an uncomfortable thought, but it's also a wake-up call. On the other side is excitement, the thrill of discovery, the rush of holding a coin that others desperately want, the feeling that you possess something rare and in demand. Coin collecting is not merely a hobby, it is a quiet treasure hunt hidden in plain sight. And here's a humorous truth to reset your attention: we check our phones 150 times a day, but we almost never check our change. Isn't it ironic that we search the internet for opportunities while real opportunities jingle in our pockets? As we move deeper, understand that demand drives value. High-grade Lincoln pennies with unusual characteristics are not just collectibles, they are assets. Auctions have demonstrated time and again that when the right coin meets the right buyer, prices soar beyond expectations. The 1968 no-mint mark penny represents a perfect storm of curiosity, scarcity perception, and collector passion. It symbolizes possibility. For individuals aged 30 to 65, people who understand the importance of financial security and smart decisions, this coin represents more than metal, it represents awareness. The difference between an ordinary person and a fortunate one is often not luck, but attention. Attention to detail. Attention to knowledge. Attention to timing, and here comes the urgency. Coins are being discovered every year, yes, but they are also being lost, damaged, and removed from circulation forever. The window of opportunity does not stay open indefinitely. The longer rare coins remain unnoticed, the greater the chance they vanish into private collections where they never reappear. Imagine realizing 10 years from now that you once owned a valuable penny but never looked closely enough. That realization would sting far more than the few minutes it takes today to inspect your coins. A simple magnifying glass, a moment of curiosity, and a bit of knowledge can separate ordinary change from extraordinary wealth. In the final act of this journey, the message becomes clear and empowering. The 1968 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is not merely a coin, it is a reminder that value often hides in overlooked places. Wealth is not always loud, sometimes it is quiet, copper-colored, and waiting to be recognized. The people who succeed in coin collecting are not gamblers, they are observers, learners, and decisive actors. They understand that opportunity favors those who prepare. So the next time you receive change, do not rush it into a jar without a glance. Slow down. Look carefully. Because in a world chasing digital numbers and virtual trends, a simple penny might still hold the power to rewrite a financial story. Imagine holding a small copper coin, something so common that millions overlook it, yet in the right condition and with the right era, it could command astonishing prices in the collector's market. Today we are diving into one of the most talked about coins among serious collectors, the 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and rare era variations that have sparked intense demand and life-changing auction results. In the world of coin collecting, rarity creates power. The 1975 Lincoln penny may look ordinary at first glance, but appearances can be deceiving. During the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, yet only a microscopic fraction display unusual minting characteristics that transformed them from pocket change into collector gold. This is where excitement begins. Think about it: while others are spending pennies on parking meters or vending machines, a knowledgeable collector is quietly examining dates, mint marks, and subtle imperfections that can elevate a coin's desirability to elite status. It's like finding a diamond in a bowl of marbles. And the best part? These coins are still out there, quietly circulating, waiting for someone observant enough to notice, now let's step deeper into the story. Picture a retired school teacher cleaning out an old jar of coins inherited from a relative. Among dull copper pieces, one penny catches the light differently. The date looks sharper, the strike more defined, and something feels unusual. A simple online search leads to professional grading, and suddenly that modest coin becomes the center of attention among collectors. Auctions ignite, bids climb, and what was once ignored becomes fiercely desired. This is not just about money, it is about awareness, timing, and understanding the hidden signals that most people never learn to see. Coin collecting is not gambling, it is informed discovery. When knowledge meets opportunity, results can be extraordinary, but here's the emotional reality many people face. Every year, rare coins slip through fingers because owners never take the time to inspect them. Pennies get tossed into tip jars, dropped into couches, or handed over at gas stations without a second thought. That single moment of neglect could mean losing an opportunity that might have funded a dream vacation, supported retirement plans, or simply provided financial breathing room. The fear of missing out is real, but it can also be transformed into motivation. The difference between regret and reward is education and action. A penny may be small, but the decision to examine it carefully can be monumental. Let's reset the attention for a second. When was the last time a penny made your heart race? Exactly. Probably never. Yet collectors around the country attend auctions where a single coin can draw more excitement than a sports final. Why? Because rarity combined with condition creates prestige. A 1975 Lincoln penny with distinctive minting characteristics in exceptional condition can ignite bidding wars. Humorously, it's ironic that something many people consider worthless change can inspire serious investors to compete passionately. The coin itself doesn't shout its value, it whispers, and only those who listen carefully can hear it. As we move toward the final act of this journey, the message becomes clear. Opportunity favors the prepared. The coin market thrives on knowledge, patience, and sharp observation. The individuals who benefit most are not always experts with decades of experience, often they are everyday people who simply decided to look closer, learn faster, and act smarter. Demand in the rare coin market continues to grow because collectors value history, authenticity, and scarcity. When a coin combines these elements, it becomes more than metal, it becomes a story, an asset, and a symbol of foresight. Imagine opening a drawer tonight, pouring out a handful of coins, and seeing them differently than you ever have before. Instead of spare change, you see potential. Instead of habit, you choose awareness. This mindset shift is powerful. Whether your coin turns out to be moderately valuable or extraordinarily rare, the act of checking places you ahead of millions who never will. The journey itself builds financial intelligence and confidence, and occasionally, it delivers remarkable surprises. In the end, the true value of the 1975 Lincoln penny story is not only about a number or an auction headline. It is about understanding that wealth opportunities often hide in ordinary places. The collectors who succeed are those who combine curiosity with action and optimism with discipline. A single penny may not guarantee a fortune, but the habit of informed observation can open doors you never expected. Imagine opening an old jar of coins sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet, dusty, forgotten, almost invisible. Now imagine that one tiny copper penny inside that jar is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not a house, not a car, a single penny. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet collectors across the United States search every day for rare mint errors because history has proven again and again that overlooked coins can transform ordinary people into unexpected winners. And today, we are diving into one of the most talked about treasures in modern numismatics, the 1975 Lincoln penny with mint error, a coin that has stunned auction rooms and ignited a wave of excitement among serious collectors. Let's step into the first act of this story, discovery and curiosity. The 1975 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny you might receive in change at a grocery store. Abraham Lincoln's calm profile, the familiar wheat-style legacy in the design lineage, the copper shine, nothing screams fortune. And that is exactly why it is so powerful. The greatest opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. They hide in plain sight. Collectors who understand mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal compositions, know that these tiny imperfections can multiply a coin's value beyond imagination. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a six-figure asset often comes down to microscopic details. It's almost humorous to think that something smaller than a button could be worth more than a luxury vehicle. But here's the truth, the market does not reward size, it rewards rarity. Now we move into the second act: tension, emotion, and realization. Picture the fear of throwing away a fortune simply because you didn't look closely enough. Many people unknowingly spend rare coins every single day. They rush through life, toss change into parking meters, and never realize the hidden wealth slipping through their fingers. That fear is real, and it should awaken curiosity rather than anxiety. Because on the other side of fear is opportunity. The 1975 penny error has gained attention precisely because high-grade specimens with distinct minting anomalies have reached astonishing auction figures, with reports of values climbing into the hundreds of thousands of dollars when condition, rarity, and verified error align perfectly. This is where excitement builds. The coin market is not just a hobby, it is a sophisticated ecosystem of demand, scarcity, and historical significance. When collectors compete for a rare piece, prices don't walk, they leap. And suddenly, that humble penny becomes a financial conversation starter. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually inspected the pennies in your wallet? Most people check their phones more often than their money. Ironically, the treasure might be in the pocket they ignore the most. That as momentum grows, urgency naturally enters the story. Markets evolve. Demand increases. Awareness spreads. The more people learn about valuable coin errors, the more competition intensifies. Waiting too long can mean missing the golden window when collectors are actively hunting and auction houses are buzzing with energy. This is not about panic, it is about preparedness. Those who educate themselves, verify authenticity through professional grading services, and understand the signals of rarity position themselves ahead of the curve. There is even a touch of humor in this journey. Imagine telling friends that a penny funded your next vacation. They might laugh, until they see the receipt. Attention resets, curiosity returns, and the realization hits: small things truly can carry enormous value. Finally, we arrive at the third act: empowerment and vision. The story of the 1975 Lincoln penny is larger than a coin. It is a reminder that wealth often hides inside knowledge and awareness. Collecting is not merely about metal, it is about history, patience, and strategic timing. For adults between 30 and 65 who aspire to elevate their lifestyle and unlock hidden assets, coin collecting offers both intellectual satisfaction and financial potential. The demand for verified rare coins continues to surge because they represent tangible history, assets you can hold, authenticate, and pass down through generations. When you examine your coins carefully, consult reputable experts, and stay informed about market trends, you transform from a casual observer into a confident participant in a thriving marketplace. Imagine opening an old drawer, the kind filled with forgotten memories, dusty envelopes, and coins that once jingled in your pocket without a second thought, and then discovering that one simple copper penny could be worth more than a luxury house. That is the power of awareness, and today we are stepping into the extraordinary world of the 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that most people overlook every single day. While millions walk past spare change without blinking, a small group of informed collectors quietly turn pennies into life-changing opportunities. The question is not whether rare coins exist, the real question is how many have already passed through your hands without you noticing. If a single penny could reportedly reach values near $847,000 in the current collector market, would you still ignore the coins sitting in your jar at home? This is not just about money, it is about recognizing hidden value in places the world taught you to ignore. And yes, it may sound unbelievable, but so did the idea of a $1,000 smartphone 20 years ago. In the first act of this journey, we enter the world of everyday circulation, where the 1978 Lincoln penny was born. Billions were produced, and most were ordinary, but within massive minting operations, small anomalies occur, tiny mechanical misalignments, subtle die variations, and minute production errors that transform common metal into collectible gold in the eyes of serious numismatists. The phrase, "no mint mark," often confuses beginners, because during that era, Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark, making the real treasure not merely the absence of a letter, but the specific rare error combinations tied to condition, strike quality, and microscopic variations. Think of it like identical twins where only one becomes a world-famous athlete, same birth year, same appearance, but completely different destiny. And here's the humorous twist: some people spend hours searching for treasure with metal detectors at beaches, while a rare coin might be sitting quietly inside a kitchen drawer next to expired coupons and a lonely paperclip. As we move into the second act, the excitement intensifies because knowledge becomes your competitive advantage. Coin collecting is not gambling, it is strategy mixed with patience. The fear that many people carry is the fear of missing out, the possibility that they may unknowingly spend or discard something extraordinary. That fear, when guided correctly, becomes motivation. Serious buyers look for pristine condition coins, professional grading certifications, and documented auction histories. The 1978 penny in flawless mint state with verified error characteristics can ignite bidding wars among collectors who see rarity not as an expense but as an investment. Imagine two identical pennies placed on a table, one worth 1 cent, the other worth thousands or more, and the only difference is the trained eye recognizing what others dismiss. It is almost comical how value can hide in plain sight, like wearing designer shoes with the price tag still attached and not realizing it. The urgency here is real because coins are constantly being lost, damaged, or melted down, which quietly increases scarcity over time. Every year that passes does not decrease the opportunity, it often intensifies it. In the final act, we arrive at empowerment and transformation. This is where awareness turns into action and action turns into lifestyle change. The coin market is not merely about selling metal, it is about entering a network of collectors, auctions, grading services, and historical appreciation that has existed for generations. When individuals between the ages of 30 and 65 begin exploring rare coins, they are not chasing fantasies, they are participating in a time-tested asset class rooted in history and tangible ownership. The excitement comes from the hunt, the authority comes from knowledge, and the reward comes from patience. A single discovery can inspire confidence, but the real wealth lies in understanding patterns, demand cycles, and authenticity verification. The beauty of this journey is that it begins with something everyone already possesses: spare change. You do not need a treasure map, a secret code, or a hidden vault. You need curiosity, discipline, and the willingness to look twice at what others ignore. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so small, so ordinary, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought, yet this exact coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now picture this: you open an old drawer, a forgotten piggy bank, or a dusty coin box from your childhood, and inside lies a 1979 Lincoln penny that collectors are desperately hunting for. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a lottery ticket hidden in plain sight, but history has shown again and again that rare coin errors can transform everyday pocket change into life-changing wealth. The question is not if valuable coins still exist, the real question is, are you unknowingly holding one right now? Because while millions of people spend pennies without looking, a small group of informed individuals quietly recognize the signs of rarity, and they are the ones turning copper into cash. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, how valuable could it really be? That's exactly what most people think right before they discover they've been overlooking a hidden treasure. The 1979 Lincoln penny, especially those with rare mint errors, has sparked intense demand in the collector's market. Serious buyers, auction houses, and private investors constantly search for exceptional examples, and when a rare variation surfaces, the competition becomes fierce. It's almost humorous how something we once used to buy candy can now compete with luxury watches and gold bars. The irony is powerful: the smallest denomination can sometimes carry the biggest surprise. Here is where excitement meets urgency. The coin world is not just a hobby, it is a global marketplace fueled by passion, scarcity, and timing. Certain 1979 pennies with striking errors, misalignments, double impressions, off-center strikes, or unusual metal compositions, have attracted extraordinary attention. Collectors are not merely buying coins, they are buying stories, rarity, and historical anomalies. And when rarity meets condition, the numbers can escalate dramatically. Auctions become battlegrounds of silent bids and racing hearts. One moment a coin sits quietly in a display case, and the next it becomes the star of the room, commanding astonishing figures. Now consider the emotional side. There is a subtle fear in missing out, the unsettling thought that a valuable coin might slip through your fingers simply because you didn't look closely enough. At the same time, there is excitement in the hunt, the thrill of discovery, the idea that your everyday change could contain a hidden gem. This combination of fear and anticipation is exactly what drives the coin market forward. People are not only searching for profit, they are chasing possibility. And possibility is powerful. It turns ordinary evenings into treasure hunts and transforms curiosity into financial opportunity. Think about it, how often do we get the chance to potentially multiply the value of something we already own without investing thousands up front? Humorously, some of the world's most valuable finds were discovered in the most unexpected places: couch cushions, garage sales, inherited jars, even the bottom of a laundry basket. It almost makes you want to check your sofa right now, doesn't it? That brief smile you just had is important, because it resets your attention and reminds you that opportunity doesn't always arrive with flashing lights, sometimes it hides in silence, waiting for a trained eye. This is where authority meets inspiration. The individuals who succeed in the rare coin market are not necessarily experts from the beginning, they are people who choose to become informed, who take a moment to examine details others ignore. The 1979 Lincoln penny symbolizes more than currency. It represents awareness, patience, and the courage to recognize value where others see none. Demand in the collector community continues to grow because rarity cannot be manufactured on demand. Once a unique error is discovered and secured, it becomes part of a limited historical record. That scarcity is what fuels strong market interest and keeps serious buyers watching closely. Imagine the confidence of knowing that you understand what to look for. Imagine turning uncertainty into clarity, curiosity into knowledge, and knowledge into financial advantage. This is not about luck alone, it is about positioning yourself where opportunity already exists. Coins travel through countless hands every day, but only a few people pause long enough to truly see them. Those few often walk away with stories, and sometimes with significant financial rewards. By the end of this journey, one truth stands clear: the value of a coin is not defined by its face denomination but by its uniqueness, condition, and demand. The 1979 Lincoln penny stands as a reminder that wealth can appear in the most modest forms. The next time a penny lands in your palm, don't dismiss it. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought. Yet hidden within that tiny piece of copper-plated metal could be the power to change your financial future forever. What if the next Lincoln penny you find in your pocket, your drawer, or that dusty old coin box in the garage could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, almost like a late-night infomercial promise, but for collectors and smart sellers across the United States, this possibility is very real. The 1988 Lincoln penny with no visible mint mark and rare error variations has become a silent superstar in the coin market, creating waves of excitement, urgency, and fierce demand among serious buyers. And here's the unsettling truth: while some people are unknowingly spending these coins on coffee, others are quietly selling them for life-changing sums. The difference is not luck, it is knowledge. You might be wondering, how can a penny be worth more than a luxury car? It's a fair question, and honestly, most people laugh the first time they hear it. After all, it's just 1 cent, right? But history has proven again and again that rarity, condition, and error combinations can transform the smallest denominations into treasures. Think of it like finding a winning lottery ticket that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. The 1988 Lincoln penny is not just currency, it is a historical artifact, a miniature time capsule from an era when minting technology, design transitions, and subtle production anomalies created opportunities that collectors now chase with passion. And the moment you realize that a simple coin could fund vacations, investments, or even early retirement, your perspective on spare change will never be the same again. Now let's step into the heart of the story, the revelation that turns curiosity into determination. In 1988, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, most of them completely normal and worth only face value. But within those massive production runs, a small number of coins emerged with unusual characteristics, particularly design transitions and minting inconsistencies that sharp-eyed collectors immediately recognized as rare opportunities. The no mint mark itself is not automatically rare for Philadelphia issues, yet when paired with specific die variations, lettering details, and exceptional mint state condition, the value can escalate dramatically. This is where the market transforms from casual collecting into serious investment territory. Picture a seasoned coin dealer examining a penny under magnification, his expression shifting from routine boredom to sudden excitement. That moment, that split second of realization, is where ordinary metal becomes extraordinary wealth. Auction houses have witnessed bidding wars where collectors compete aggressively, driven by scarcity and the emotional thrill of ownership. It is not merely about the coin, it is about status, history, and the pride of possessing something others overlooked. The psychology behind these sales is powerful. Fear whispers, "What if I spend a fortune by mistake?" Excitement shouts, "What if I'm holding a hidden gem?" Urgency demands action before someone else discovers it first. And humor sneaks in when you realize that the penny you once ignored could be more valuable than your smartphone. Strange world, isn't it? But here is the empowering truth: you do not need to be a professional numismatist to recognize opportunity. With attention, patience, and awareness of condition, date clarity, and subtle design distinctions, anyone can begin the journey. The market rewards those who treat coins not as loose change, but as assets. Every drawer searched, every jar examined, every inherited collection reviewed becomes a potential doorway to financial surprise. The thrill is not just in selling, it is in discovering. It is the modern treasure hunt hidden inside everyday life. Now we arrive at the transformation, the point where knowledge turns into decisive action. Imagine the confidence of knowing that you can walk into a coin shop, an auction platform, or a collector's convention with authority instead of uncertainty. Instead of wondering whether you are being offered a fair price, you understand demand, condition grading, and buyer psychology. This shift is not only financial, it is mental. You move from passive spender to strategic seller, from uncertainty to empowerment. And in a market where rare coin demand continues to rise, hesitation can be the most expensive mistake of all. Opportunities in collectibles often reward speed and preparation, not delay. The beauty of the 1988 Lincoln penny narrative is that it symbolizes a larger principle: wealth is not always hidden in distant investments or complicated systems. Sometimes, it is quietly waiting in places we overlook every day. A penny on the floor, a coin in a wallet, a forgotten envelope from decades ago, these are not just objects, they are possibilities. The excitement lies in awareness, the urgency lies in action, and the reward lies in persistence. While others scroll past opportunities, you can choose to recognize them. While others dismiss small change, you can evaluate it with intention, and perhaps the most inspiring part of this journey is the mindset it creates. When you begin to view everyday items as potential assets, you cultivate attentiveness, discipline, and optimism. You stop seeing limits and start seeing openings. Imagine reaching into a dusty jar of loose change sitting quietly on your kitchen shelf, and pulling out a single penny that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. A coin so small, so ordinary, that most people would toss it into a vending machine without a second thought. But what if that one overlooked 1995 Lincoln penny in your pocket right now held the power to change your financial future? It sounds unbelievable, almost like a late-night infomercial promise, yet the world of rare coins has repeatedly turned everyday people into unexpected winners. The truth is, opportunity rarely knocks loudly. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes it looks exactly like a 1-cent coin. And here's the uncomfortable question most people never ask themselves: how many valuable coins have already slipped through your fingers without you ever noticing? That thought alone should spark both curiosity and urgency, because the market for rare coin errors is not slowing down, it is accelerating, with collectors hunting aggressively for hidden gems. The 1995 D. Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something minted in the millions can still produce a rare and highly sought-after variation. Most of these pennies are ordinary, but a tiny fraction carry minting anomalies and error characteristics that ignite bidding wars among collectors. And here's the irony: the difference between a common penny and an extraordinary one can be smaller than a grain of sand. It's almost humorous when you think about it. People will spend 30 minutes choosing a coffee flavor, but not even 3 seconds examining the coins in their own wallet. Yet within those seconds could live a life-altering discovery. This is where awareness becomes wealth, and knowledge becomes leverage. In the rare coin marketplace, error pennies are not just collectibles, they are financial artifacts. The 1995 D. Lincoln penny error variants, particularly those with strong doubling effects, off-center strikes, or die anomalies, have commanded astonishing attention. Collectors are not simply buying metal, they are buying scarcity, history, and bragging rights. When a coin with the right combination of rarity, pristine condition, and verified error enters auction, the room changes. Bidders lean forward. Hearts race. The energy shifts from casual interest to competitive determination. This is where numbers climb rapidly, sometimes reaching eye-opening valuations that most people would never associate with a penny. It's the ultimate paradox, the smallest denomination creating the largest excitement. And let's pause for a moment. Have you ever ignored a penny on the ground because it wasn't worth bending over for? That single decision, repeated over years, could symbolically represent overlooked opportunities far beyond coins. In the world of rare numismatics, condition and verification transform metal into a masterpiece. A certified high-grade 1995 D penny error becomes more than currency, it becomes a trophy of timing and awareness. The collectors who compete for these coins are strategic, informed, and willing to pay premiums because they understand one powerful truth: supply is finite, but demand is emotional and growing. What makes this even more compelling is the ticking clock of opportunity. Coins are constantly being lost, damaged, or permanently removed from circulation. Every year, the pool of pristine examples shrinks. This natural attrition silently increases scarcity. While many people assume valuable coins have already been discovered, history proves otherwise. Estate sales, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, and old piggy banks continue to surprise the market. The fear isn't that valuable coins no longer exist, the fear is that someone else will recognize their worth before you do. In rare coin collecting, hesitation is often the most expensive mistake. Now imagine the transformation from passive observer to informed seeker. Instead of seeing pennies as spare change, you begin to see them as potential assets. You start checking dates, mint marks, and visual details with intention. The act itself becomes empowering, a small daily habit that costs nothing but attention. This is where excitement meets practicality. You are not gambling, you are educating your eye. You are training yourself to notice what others dismiss. And that subtle shift in mindset is what separates collectors who stumble upon luck from those who consistently position themselves near opportunity. There is also a lifestyle element here that resonates deeply with successful collectors. Rare coins represent patience, discernment, and long-term thinking, qualities that mirror financial growth in every arena of life. Owning or discovering a valuable coin isn't just about the monetary figure attached to it, it's about the story, the prestige, and the personal victory of recognizing value where others saw none. It is the thrill of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. So the next time a 1995 D. Lincoln penny crosses your path, pause for a moment. Look closely. Feel the weight of possibility in something so small. Opportunity does not always arrive wrapped in gold, sometimes it arrives copper-colored and disguised as spare change. The collectors who succeed are not the luckiest, they are the most observant. And in a world moving faster every day, the simple act of paying attention can become your greatest financial advantage. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins, the kind that has been sitting quietly on a shelf for years, and discovering that one tiny copper coin could be worth more than a luxury home. It sounds like a fantasy, yet in the world of rare coins, stories like this have happened before. The 1996 D. Lincoln penny is one of those coins that has sparked excitement among collectors and sellers alike. For many Americans between 30 and 65 who dream of turning forgotten change into life-changing wealth, this coin represents hope, possibility, and the thrill of hidden value. Before you dismiss the pennies in your drawer, ask yourself one simple question: what if the smallest coin in your possession holds the biggest opportunity of your lifetime? The Lincoln penny has always been a symbol of humble beginnings, but occasionally, a rare mint error transforms it into a collector's treasure. The 1996 D mint mark, struck in Denver, has drawn attention because certain error variations have appeared in the market and ignited fierce bidding wars. When collectors discover misprints, double dies, or striking anomalies, the coin becomes more than metal, it becomes a story, a rarity, and a prize. Picture a coin so small it fits on your fingertip, yet powerful enough to command staggering offers. It's almost humorous when you think about it, a single penny competing with luxury cars and designer watches in value. Who would ever imagine that Abraham Lincoln's portrait could silently guard a fortune in your pocket change? As the coin market grows and online auctions intensify, the demand for unique error coins continues to surge. This is where excitement meets urgency. Every day, coins are sold, traded, or unknowingly spent without anyone realizing their hidden potential. Somewhere, right now, a rare 1996 D penny could be sliding across a supermarket counter, unnoticed, undervalued, and misunderstood. That realization should spark both curiosity and a touch of fear, not fear of loss, but fear of missing an extraordinary opportunity. Because once a rare coin leaves your possession without inspection, that moment may never return. Wealth often hides in plain sight, disguised as ordinary objects, waiting for those with awareness to recognize it. Now imagine the transformation. A simple evening spent examining your coins becomes the first step toward financial empowerment. You begin to notice the tiny mint mark, the subtle details, the imperfections that might actually be perfection in the collector's world. The process itself becomes thrilling, like a treasure hunt conducted at your own kitchen table. There is excitement in discovery, confidence in knowledge, and inspiration in possibility. And yes, there's even room for a smile. After all, it's not every day that spare change has the potential to outshine a paycheck. This journey is not just about coins, it's about shifting your mindset from casual spender to informed investor. The market value of rare coins is driven by demand, condition, and verified uniqueness. When a coin with a notable error enters an auction, collectors compete aggressively, pushing prices into astonishing territory. Stories of high-value sales spread quickly, fueling more interest and more searches in drawers, boxes, and inherited collections. This cycle of discovery and demand creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunity. The key is awareness and timing. In the coin world, hesitation can mean watching someone else claim the reward that could have been yours. Opportunity favors those who look closely, act wisely, and understand the power of rarity. By the end of this journey, the message becomes clear: the 1996 D. Lincoln penny is not merely a coin, it is a symbol of potential waiting to be recognized. It reminds us that value is not always obvious and that wealth does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers from the bottom of a jar, waiting for a discerning eye and a decisive hand. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins, the same jar that's been sitting quietly on your kitchen shelf for years, and discovering that one simple penny inside could be worth more than a luxury home. It sounds like fiction, like a late-night infomercial promise, yet history has proven again and again that rare coins have transformed ordinary people into unexpected winners. Now here's the question that should stop you in your tracks: what if the next life-changing discovery is already in your pocket right now? The 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark error has become one of the most talked about modern coin mysteries, and collectors across the United States are searching relentlessly, because when scarcity meets demand, the price doesn't whisper, it roars. In the beginning of our story, we meet the everyday American saver, someone who has always believed wealth is built slowly, carefully, $1 at a time. Yet coin collecting flips that belief upside down. The 2015 Lincoln penny appears ordinary at first glance, a coin millions of people handled without a second thought. But within the world of numismatics, small details carry enormous power. A missing mint mark, a subtle production anomaly, or a rare die error can instantly turn a 1-cent coin into a 5- or 6-figure asset. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you paid for coffee and received pennies back without even looking? It's almost humorous when you realize that a single second of attention could potentially reveal a hidden treasure. The fear here is real and powerful, the fear of overlooking opportunity, the fear of letting wealth slip through your fingers unnoticed. As we move into the heart of the journey, excitement begins to build. The coin market is not driven by luck alone, it is fueled by knowledge, timing, and awareness. Collectors are constantly hunting for coins that represent rarity and perfection combined. The 2015 Lincoln penny without a mint mark error has gained attention because modern coins are rarely expected to carry such unusual characteristics, which makes any verified anomaly instantly desirable. When demand surges and supply remains microscopic, valuations can climb to astonishing heights. Stories of coins reaching values like $842,000 ignite imagination and urgency simultaneously. Suddenly, the penny is no longer a small copper disc, it becomes a symbol of possibility, ambition, and financial awakening. And let's be honest, who knew that the smallest coin in your change jar might be silently competing with luxury cars for value? Momentum grows as awareness spreads. Auction houses, private collectors, and online marketplaces create a competitive environment where verified rarity becomes the ultimate currency. The urgency is undeniable because the window of opportunity never stays open forever. Coins get discovered, graded, locked into collections, and once they disappear from circulation, the chance to find one becomes slimmer with every passing year. This is where discipline meets opportunity. Checking your coins, learning basic identification methods, and understanding the difference between ordinary circulation wear and true mint anomalies can separate the observer from the achiever. It's not about obsession, it's about awareness. A few minutes of attention today could be the difference between ordinary change and extraordinary gain tomorrow. Finally, we reach the resolution, the realization that wealth often hides in plain sight, waiting for those who choose curiosity over indifference. The story of the 2015 Lincoln penny is not merely about money, it is about mindset. It reminds us that opportunity rarely announces itself with flashing lights. Instead, it whispers through small details, through overlooked objects, through everyday moments. The excitement comes from knowing that discovery is still possible, that even in a modern digital age, tangible treasures continue to exist. The urgency comes from understanding that someone, somewhere, will find the next rare coin, and the only question left is whether it will be you or the person standing behind you in line at the grocery store. In the end, the penny becomes more than currency. It becomes a metaphor for potential. A single coin can represent discipline, curiosity, and the courage to look closer when others walk away. And as collectors continue to chase rare modern errors with relentless enthusiasm, one truth remains clear: the smallest denomination can carry the greatest surprise. So the next time a penny lands in your hand, pause for just a second, smile at the irony, and remember that greatness often arrives disguised as something ordinary.